Hi guys, it's me JB. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Well, not sweet, but I don't know what to say about my football team anymore. I really don't. I know it's Chelsea we played yesterday, but I don't understand. Why can we not play the same for two whole halves? The first half we were magnificent. Should have been a couple of goals up. We broke away. I think there was a half a chance for Reece James and an effort from Rudiger, but apart from that, I'll come on to the individual things later. But how, Dwight McNeil missed a couple of sitters. I'll move on to him personally later because I've got quite a lot to say about Dwight McNeil in a bit. Played really well first half, and then we capitulated. I don't know what Sean Dyche put in a cup of tea. It's almost as if we had lead boots on. It was just an horrendous team display. We had no leaders, we had no fight, no passion, no nothing. It was absolutely, from start to finish, an absolute load of rubbish. Well, the second half anyway. But first half we had chances, we didn't take them. Chelsea took theirs. And that's the difference. But there are a lot of questions need to be asked about certain individuals. Right, I'm going to quickly do the marking because it's going to be very quick and painless. I want to get this out of the way as painless as possible. Nick Pope, 7. He didn't deserve 4 past him yesterday. His defenders in front of him deserved the criticism. He did his best. He made some good saves. He made some good saves when he needed to. He had no chance on any of the 4 goals. Just the defence just split in front of him, and sadly for Nick, he was left badly exposed. So he's probably one of the few Burnley players I actually feel sorry for yesterday because he didn't deserve 4 past him, and so I feel for Nick Pope a bit. Right back, Connor Roberts, 4. Was in good form until yesterday, and then all of a sudden he's to blame on the second goal because he's left Kai Havertz marked at the far post, and you don't do that. You don't leave a quality player like Kai Havertz totally unmarked, unforgivable, unacceptable, really. So Connor Roberts gets 4. Otherwise, he'd have got 6 or 7. James Tarkowski, 3. No excuse giving away the ball on the 4th goal. Why is he doing that? It is pathetic. It's ridiculous. He just literally just got a toe in, gave the ball to Pulisic. You go and help yourself to one. You go and help yourself, Christian. The man does not care. He's supposed to be our bleeding captain, supposed to be our leader in place of Ben Mee. He never showed anything like a captain yesterday. It was pathetic. If he doesn't, if you want to bog off to a bigger club in the summer, James Tarkowski, you've got my bleeding blessing. You had it a long time ago, mate. But while you're at Burnley, put some bloody pride into the shirt and actually give her monkeys and give her stuff, will you? And actually show some fight. You've not been good enough in recent weeks. Not enough, and it's unacceptable. He gets a 3. Nathan Collins, I thought was the better of the 2 centre-backs we saw yesterday. He at least he battled and he did everything. He gets a 5. So he's probably the best rated of the 2 centre-backs. He did his best, but unfortunately he wasn't helped by the other 3 Muppets that were the back 4 and a couple of other players as well. So he gets a 5, but it's a reasonable 5 rather than a horrible 5. 4 for Charlie Taylor. Him and McNeil found wanting on the first goal. Why you give Reece James so much room to score that first goal is truly unbelievable. It's just again, it's unacceptable. So he gets 4 for me. We start with the midfield, right midfield. Aaron Lennon, I think, deserves a 7. He tried. First half, he was alert to everything. He gave Antonio Rudiger the run around in the first half. And on the strength of his first half performance, I'm going to give him a 7 because At least he was actually trying his heart out there. And, which is more, like I said, for a certain left winger, which I'm going to come to in a minute. At least he had a go. And so he gets a 7, and he's the best rated of any Burnley player. Ashley Westwood, 4. He's not good. He's not been good enough this last couple of weeks. How does he merit a team in place of Jack Cork, who up until last week was in really, really good form? You take him out and put Westwood in. Ridiculous. Jack Cork should be in that team. I know I've given Jack Cork a hard time over the years, but Jack Cork on merit should be in the first 11. In fact, he should be one of the first names on the tee sheet along with Aaron Leonard, as far as I'm concerned. Josh Brownhill, the same. Since Westwood's come back, his form has dipped so much rotten. He is a shadow of the player that we saw at Brighton, and we saw at Brighton play against Brighton and Tottenham. He was poor yesterday. Second half, he was just lame as hell. Again, I think Westwood gets 5. Westwood will get 5. Brownhill gets 4. Them two midfielders have to do a lot better. I would go as well to say, get Westwood out, get Cork back in, because it's just not good enough. Dwight McNeil, the man was lazy yesterday, and I don't want to knock Dwight. I don't like knocking any Burnley player, because I'm a Burnley fan, I'm a passionate fan, but I've got to base it on what I saw yesterday. Not even making an effort to track back. He's jogging when not in possession. He misses 2 gilt-edged opportunities. He has a chance when he's got Chalobah on his arse to cross into the middle for Vigors, and then lets the ball run and allows Chalobah to get back. Pathetic! And then on the first goal, Reece James has twisted him inside out. You just stay still. He was so lame. He was just so lackluster. He couldn't give a monkey's. And people were telling him to, Burnley fans gave him the bird. Now, I'm against people booing players, but when they're not showing the effort and desire and the determination that fans expect, just remember one thing. Those supporters, in theory, pay the players' wages, right? If he did that in a factory, he'd be marched up to the manager's office and given his cards and his P45, because that is unacceptable. There was no effort, no desire, no determination to track back. He just lazed about. And when you compare Aaron Lennon, who was actually one of our best player, at least he tracked back and doubled up with Connor Roberts in both halves. At least he had a go, helping out defensively. McNeil just couldn't give a damn. He needs to be dropped. I'm sorry. I hate to say this. I actually got ridiculed when I put that same status about Dwight McNeil on Facebook. It's not a personal dig at Dwight McNeil. He's a nice bloke, nice guy. Still a young kid. But yesterday, when your team is in the doldrums and you need to fight in a relegation dogfight, he wasn't there. He wasn't on it, and he should have been on it. And is it any wonder people are getting on his back on social media a little bit? You have to be there. Dwight McNeil is right. Dwight McNeil's had a good 3 years. Don't get me wrong; he's done really well, right? But yesterday Chelsea showed him up good and proper, or he showed himself up good and proper. You're gonna get stick everywhere you go. Sometimes there are going to be performances where people are going to give you stick. He was booed off. Really, he should have been substituted at half-time and Maxwell Cornet come on in his place. It's not good enough. I'm sorry. Dwight, you're a nice guy, nice fella, but yesterday you were pathetic. You didn't show no fight. You didn't show no desire, no passion, no nothing. You missed 2 gilt-edged chances, and you just played like you just didn't care. And I hate to say that. Same applies to Tarkowski. I hate to criticise these same two. It's the same 2 people every week that I'm having to criticise. I don't like doing that. So Dwight McNeil gets 1. He's lucky to get 1, because that wasn't good enough. Wout Weghorst, quiet game for him. He gets 4. quiet game. Just couldn't get into it at all. Didn't have many chances. Same with J-Rod. Also gets a 4. Just again didn't get into the game at all. Chelsea defence snuffed him out a bit, but but there were a few question marks. I still think Jay Rodriguez was still our more potent threat. I still think him and Vigors could work as a twosome if the service is right. I think if Jack Cork could have played yesterday, I think they would have got more chances. That's just my opinion. Substitutes, namely Maxwell Cornet. He came on and tried. At least he had a go. I'm going to give Cornet a 5. And I'm going to, in fact, I'm going to give Cornet a 6. He came on and he actually showed some fighting determination. Even at 4-0 down, he showed some fighting determination to actually try and get us a couple of goals back. And I thought that was really good. Bit unfortunate with a free kick that he hit over, but he had a goal. It's just a shame certain other individuals couldn't show that same passion and same fight. But I'm going to give Maxwell Cornet a 6 because of his effort and his desire to even try and pull a couple of goals back, even though it was going to be a certain defeat for us. Ashley Barnes came on, 3. He gets a 3. Came on, didn't really make much of an impression. Played a few loose passes. I think his best days are behind him, to be quite honest. The manager, Sean Dyche, if you were basing it on the first half, he'd get an 8. Tactically brilliant. But I've got to base it on the whole 90 minutes. Got to give him a 3, I'm afraid. What was he thinking? He should have actually reacted. As soon as that first goal went in, he should have reacted quick to that and brought on some fresh legs. I think he made a mistake not dragging off Dwight McNeil at half-time because I don't think McNeil was good enough. Because at the end of the day, if people are roundly booing him, it will affect confidence, but that doesn't excuse his laziness and his work rate to drop. You've got to win over the boo boys. And what he did wasn't the way to do it. So in that theory, Dyche gets a 4. Not good enough. Team performance, apart from Pope, Cornet, and Lennon, just not good enough, is it? You know what I mean? It's just and Collins to a certain extent, just not good enough. So the team performance, I've got to give it 3 collectively, because collectively we fell absolutely apart, and there were certain players, namely Tarkowski and McNeil, that undermined the confidence of the squad, the rest of the squad. Just not good enough. It just isn't good enough. And they're lucky to get 3. Just not good enough. Well, I feel very frank about what happened yesterday. Chelsea were worthy winners. I'm going to give him... I thought Thomas Tuchel, again, he knew what to expect. I thought Reece James was the man of the match. I thought he played really well for Chelsea yesterday. Coming back from injury, not an easy thing to come back from injury and play at Turf Moor when it's going to be right on top of you. It's going to be a physical game. I thought Reece James did magnificently well from a Chelsea viewpoint. Kai Havertz took his 2 goals well, however hard they were, however easy they were presented to him. So too did Pulisic. When Turkey, he couldn't miss. They were ruthless. But they're even more so when you gift them 4 goals. But fair play to them, deserved their victory, and I think they'll be in the Champions League for sure next season. They're still in with a chance of winning it this year. Can still win the FA Cup. They showed signs at Wembley last week when I commentated on them in the EFL final that they are a very good side. They just didn't take their chances that day. Just so happens they took their chances at Luton in the week, and they took their chances at Turf yesterday. So fair play to Chelsea. But Burnley, this is it now. I think it's all on this next game away at Brentford. We have to win at Brentford next week. If we don't, then I think it's goodbye Premier League. Seriously, I can't see us getting another victory. We have to get Brentford. It takes the pressure a little bit off Manchester City. But it's twice now we've had the chance to get out the bottom 3, and twice we've buggered it up. And it's our own fault. You can't blame Leicester for their victory. They deserved their victory on Tuesday. Chelsea deserved theirs yesterday, and there was just no excuse whatsoever. And as for Tarky and as for McNeil, book up your frigging ideas, because you two, especially, you were not fucking good enough. And you know my stance on that. It might upset a couple of people. It might upset a couple of Dwight McNeil fans. I don't care. Listen, I've got nothing against Dwight McNeil as a person. I've got nothing against James Tarkowski as a person. But as footballers yesterday, they were a disgrace to the claret and blue shirt. I've got to be honest. I've got to be, as upsetting it might sound to some people, I've got to be frank and honest. In a relegation dogfight, in a relegation scrap, where you need to stand up and be counted, they just weren't prepared to do that. And that's not good enough. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.